Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, this is Jeremy Smith. I guess it's been about a year ago. I brought you guys a in-depth video about Sony's A7 III and A7R III to kind of show you how to set things up on the camera. Now that video is about an hour long, so not everyone wants to sit through a video that long. That video is still very, very helpful. If you haven't seen it, I will link to it. But I figured I would also do some videos that were a little bit shorter, a little bit quicker. And I figured I would just show you guys some sort of like quick little tips and tricks. Now, one thing that you guys will notice in the description of all these videos is that I have put a date in the video. And the reason why I do that is because if you're watching this video sometime in the future, there's a good chance that this camera could look different because there could be firmware updates and things like that. So keep that in mind. I am going to be going a little bit further with this, and I'm actually going to tell you guys what software version I'm on whenever I make one of these videos. So right now I have the A7R Mark IV, and we are currently on the very second version of the firmware, which is 1.10. If you have an A7 III, an A7R III, an A9, or an A9 II, for the most part, you'll be able to follow along with what I'm saying here. These sort of settings are pretty universal on the Sony lineup right now. Heck, even if you have an A6600 or an A6400, again, you're going to see quite a similarity. If you don't see things on your camera this way, then just write me in the comments and we'll go from there. Anyways, let's go ahead and dive right into this video. So the scenario I'm about to describe is one that we've all been in. You go out and you do some shooting and you think, oh my God, what an incredible shot. I'm going to remember this shot when I get home. Then you go and you take like 50 more pictures, you load them all into Lightroom or Capture One, and you can't remember which picture was your favorite to save your life. Or you go out with the shoots and you've got a client looking and you get really super excited about the image that just flashed across your LCD, and you go and show your client and they start scrolling through your pictures, and next thing you know, they're seeing all the outtakes and all kinds of crazy things. So to solve that problem, modern day cameras have a feature that is probably one of the most underrated features ever, and that is the rating system. On Sony cameras, there is an option in the menu here to where you can go in and you can set up your rating system. So you can see how I have it set on this camera right now. If I go into my images, I can kind of play everything back here. And I have this set up to where my C3 button is my rating. So as I press that C3 button, the camera basically continues to rate the image, and it gives it more stars. Now, to set this up, it's pretty straightforward. What you want to do is you want to go into your menu, and the first thing you'll need to do is you'll need to go in and get the button set up properly. So on this A7R IV, when we go into the sort of like second camera menu, which is mostly like video stuff until you get to the end, in which case you'll see some custom key operations. You have custom key for still photos, custom key for video, and then custom key for playback. We want to go to custom key for playback, and you can see that this is basically how you can customize it. You can see that C3 button right here, indicated by the number 1. You can see that I have it set to rating. So that's the first step. And then after you go in here and select this, you can go in and choose which star ratings you have access to. I actually do just use them all. I use different numbers of stars to signify different things. But if you didn't want to use all these, you can go in here and uncheck them. But anyways, whichever ones you want active, you can leave checked. Then you go down to enter just like this. And then that step of the process is done. So now we can actually go in and we can press the button to actually assign those different ratings, just like I am now. Now, if you want to go one step further with this, I recommend going into the menu and going in to the so-called image jump settings under the playback submenu. And when you do this, you can set one of the dials to kind of allow you to jump through the images. But here's the cool thing. You can jump through images that just have a rating. Now, you can do this with the rear dial or the front dial. I prefer to do it with the front dial. And then when you come down here to image jump method, you can have it jump through the images that have a multitude of ratings from 1 to 5 stars. You can have it go through all of them. You can do protected images only. There's a bunch of choices here. But in this case, I typically leave mine set to where it will jump through based on images rated 5 stars. Now this solves that second problem of your client looking at images. You want to scroll through a few images, but you just want to scroll through the images that you thought were awesome. So it goes something like this. You shoot a picture, you go, man, that's awesome. And then bang, you give it 5 stars. Then you go to another image and you shoot a few more and it's just okay. Then several frames later, you say, man, this one's awesome. Bang, you give it 5 stars. Then, whenever you get ready to show your client those images, you go to your playback, and instead of going in and actually, just sort of scrolling through your images the way you normally would, by going just one at a time here, so instead of doing all that, you would go in and you would just go through and use that front dial or whichever dial you set for your image jump. So instead of them seeing like all the frames, they just see those 5-star rated frames that you thought were so awesome. And then, they can see those. They don't diminish their confidence when they see all the shots where they were making weird faces and the ones that are just generally terrible. And it makes things so much better. Then whenever you finally get back to your computer, when you import these into Capture One or into Lightroom or into Adobe Bridge, all those programs are aware of these stars in your metadata, and that saves you a heck of a lot of time because then you can just jump straight to the images that you thought were your favorites. You don't have to wade through all the crap. So it works really awesome. If you guys have not seen my video on importing images into Adobe Lightroom, definitely check out that. And of course, look for more videos like this and write me in the comments below. Let me know what other types of Sony quick tips and tricks you guys would like to see. I already have a pretty good list of them that I'll be making videos on as time goes by, but I want to hear your thoughts too. Let me know how this video helped you. Don't forget to follow me on social media. I am known as Photog Jay the Great. And also, guys, I've noticed that lots of you don't actually subscribe to the channel. Definitely be sure to subscribe. Be sure to turn on the notifications. That way, whenever I post new videos, you will be updated. I'm trying to get back to a much more frequent video uploading schedule, so be on the lookout for more new content. Until next time, this is Jeremy Smith, signing off.